Okay, so I'm attempting to make this video again. I've tried this like 4 times and it's not uploading to the Mac and I don't know what the heck is going on. I think I figured it out. So I just figured I was going to redo a video anyway since I went to my doctor's appointment yesterday on Tuesday and then today again Wednesday. And just felt like because I wanted to do a different video about what got me to this point in my life, I thought, well, I'll just wait now and redo it since I have to see the doctor. So my journey started about when I was 13 years old. I had a lot of stress going on in my life. Plus I was starting high school and just, all these emotions and feels were going on. And I ended up gaining 80 pounds in 2 months. Stress related, just a lot of things going on. And so I just remember like gaining those 80 pounds in 2 months. I wasn't eating crappy food. I was eating healthy still, fairly healthy. Like I wasn't binge eating or anything. I gained 80 pounds in 2 months. And I had at the age of, 12, I had already got my period. I believe I didn't even go into a B cup. Like I went from an A, was in a C for like a few months, and then like jumped up to a D. And so my curves were starting to come into play. I was still athletic. I had just stopped dancing ballet, which I started when I was 3. So there was just a lot of changes going on in my life, a lot of things going on in my personal life. So I was just full with a lot of stress. And so find out that I end up having a hypothyroidism, which later we found out is Hashimoto's. And so just had like a lot of things going on. And then when I got into high school, I was made fun of. I was already chubby at this point because I gained 80 pounds in 2 months. I was chubby. I was made fun of. I liked boys, but there was boys I could tell that liked me, but I think were afraid to ask me out because I was a bigger girl, and I think they were afraid that they would get made fun of for asking me out type of thing. So I didn't date in high school. I didn't go to any school dances. I went to one, and that was a Sadie Hawkins dance because that's when the girls asked the guys. And it was like a best friend that I grew up with. He was like a brother to me. I loved that boy to death. And we went together and with another couple who my friend liked his friends. So it was fun. The 4 of us went together. It was a blast. We had a blast. But other than that, I didn't go to any other school dances. No boys asked me. No boys asked me out. Weight was just a roller coaster. I would drop weight. I would gain weight. I would drop weight. I would gain, my gaining weight was I gained all that weight back that I lost plus some. So when I turned 17, I had a couple girlfriends that were already 18 their senior year. And I turned 18 before we graduated. And they started taking diet pills. And, I saw what it was doing for them. And I'm like, hey, I want to jump on that bandwagon. Little did I know that would start me at a young age of being addicted to diet pills. No one knew I was addicted to them. No one had an idea that I was even taking them. I'm sure my mom did because don't moms know everything? But I had a severe addiction to them at a young age. By 18, I was able to start buying them myself. I first was taking them as directed, but then I loved the way that it was making me feel. I loved how I was, getting attention because I was losing weight, and I started taking more and more. And it just definitely became like this huge addiction. I could not go a day without them. I couldn't go and, I was just popping them in left and right. And I met my husband. Well, actually, let me go back a little bit. So by 19, I'm still addicted to diet pills. My cousin started dating this guy who his friend, like, I thought, hey, he's pretty cute or whatever, I had been active in church. I was raised LDS, aka Mormon. I was raised in the church. But about 18, I started going like off, I just kind of started spiraling out of control. And then 19, my cousin moved in with us. We were like those Jack Mormons, like we were active, but we still would party and drink. And then she met her boyfriend, and I kind of was like, hey, wait a second, this was not part of the plan. Like, it was supposed to be us, like, dating guys and having fun and partying. And she had other plans, dang it. And so I started dating his friend. And I think it was more like, I thought I loved him, but I think it was more of a love, like, you can take me from the situation in my life, and I could start fresh and start over and all this stuff. And so I realized that it really wasn't love. And then I realized I would have never been happy because he was going to go into the Air Force. And at first I thought, like, that would be great because then we can travel and we can move around. But then I'm like, is that really a lifestyle I want? Do I really want to be a military wife? And it didn't work out, thank goodness. And so, some other things happened in my life, and I started going inactive again. So it's like I went inactive at 18, started to sort of come back when I was 19 / 20, and then 20 to 21-ish, I started going downhill again. I met my husband when I was 20. He didn't know I was addicted to diet pills. I was, I dated guys that just, they liked me for me, whoever that me was at that time. It really wasn't me, but, but they weren't good influences, on me. It definitely made me want to take more pills because I wanted to make sure that I was keeping the weight off or getting skinnier. And so it was just a spiral, crazy emotional ride. Let's see, by the age of 20, I met my husband in like February. We started dating in April. Things were great, doing a lot of things together, active, doing all those things. And then I had to go in for an appointment for a checkup like 6 months out. Yeah. And so I'm 21 now. 6 months. Yeah, 6 months later I had to, because every 6 months I had to get a checkup, like a blood checkup, like do my blood work to check my thyroid. And my doctor's like, wow, your thyroid medication's working. You've lost a lot of weight. You're keeping weight off. Like, this is so great. And I felt like no matter how far I've gone off the deep end, I've never gone far enough. Like, I've always had my subconscious telling me, like, I think that's far enough type of thing. Or maybe you shouldn't do that. And so I was just blunt with him. I was just like, well, I'm actually taking diet pills. He's like, what the heck are you doing, Stimulant? Like, that is a no-no, especially because you have a thyroid problem. And he's just like, the problem with these diet pills is they're like a low grade under speed, basically. Like, they are, they just keep you going and energized, and that's how you're losing weight, and it just messes with your metabolism, and you can have a heart attack and die because your heart is going a mile a minute. It's not stopping. And he's like, you're going to get so, you're going to kill yourself. And so that scared me. That gave me enough, like, I don't want to die at a young age. And I, had a fear of death. And I was like, no, like, I don't think so. And so slowly within a month or two, I was slowly getting myself off of it. And I remember like 3 months after I had finally like completely taken myself off the pills, which was hard, but I was gaining weight quickly, like super quickly. And I remember like, so 3 months, so I'm 21 and a half at this point, a little over 21 and a half. No. Yeah. 3 months until my 22nd birthday. I'm trying to think, is that right? I'm trying to think. Let's see. So I was 21 when Brian and I started dating. Yeah. So it was 3 months till my 22nd birthday. Sorry. 3 months to my 22nd birthday. And Brian left for work at like 7:30 in the morning. I went into the bathroom and I locked myself in the bathroom with a knife. And I just remember sitting there and feeling all these emotions, because during this time I was gaining weight again, coming off of the diet pills. And then his friends that he had grown up with were making fun of me behind our backs and was just like, no, there's nothing really wrong with her. She has no health issues. Like, she's just lazy and all this crap. And it was just like, no, I suffer from depression. I'm addicted to diet pills, and I have a thyroid problem. Like, I got a lot going on right now. And so I locked myself in this bathroom. My husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, he had opened the door to the bathroom when he got home, because he looked for me and he couldn't find me. And he's like, how long? And then literally in the middle sentence, how long? And I remember him looking down and he sees the knife and he's like checking my body to see if I did anything. And I was like, don't worry, I didn't do anything. I was just contemplating it. Like, I was just thinking about it and I didn't act upon it. And he was just like, no, this is not okay. Like, this is not okay. He called my doctor, and I don't know, like, if it was something he begged her or what, because I don't feel like this would have happened. I feel like this would have happened if I tried to do this, not if I just thought about it. So I feel like it was more like him and his doctor coercing me to do this so that it could scare me. And it worked. But I ended up I got an appointment in to see the doctor the next day. He took a couple days off of work to be with me. And he had to drive me into a psychiatric ward. And I thank goodness I didn't have to be institutionalized, but I had to go and see a counselor twice a week for a month. That was like mandatory in order for me to get my thyroid medication, to get my levels, anything checked. Like, they were basically like holding that against me. And they probably weren't allowed to do that, but I was young. I didn't know. So I did a month, and they put me on some like heavy medication. I can't exactly remember what it was called. It wasn't like Ritalin, but it was something of that nature type. But it was super strong. But it basically just made you a walking zombie. Like, you really had no emotion. And Brian had to give me those pills. Like, he had to lock those pills away. He had to give me those pills each day, which... don't lock them up, because nobody's going to want to take those. Like, you literally feel numb. No, I don't think anybody would want to take those pills. Like, he had to check my mouth, check under my tongue, make sure that I was taking these pills. And so I just remember, after my month in, I told him, I'm not going back to this counseling crap. Like, this, I can't do it. Like, I'm not crazy. I don't want to deal with it. And I don't really, like, I don't feel like they were helping. I don't know, like, it was very manipulative, like, trying to make it seem like it was all on me, like, and then they're like, but then, your family's so awful, or your friends are so awful, and it's just like, well, like, this is, like, too heavy for me. I'm not ready for this stuff. Like, I am not in the right mindset for this. And so I checked myself out. I stopped doing, the counseling twice a week at the psych ward, and then, right before my 21st birthday, my 22nd birthday, I remember I took a chance on hiding the pill under my tongue. And if he checked, I'd just be like, oh, I don't know. I just didn't want to take it. Try to play something stupid off. But he didn't ask to see it, like to check my mouth. And so I'm like, oh, I'm getting away with this. And so I spit the pill out after he left, and I went in to go take a shower. And I had been in there for quite some time, and he came in to check on me, like, is she okay? And I remember, I'm in the shower on the shower floor. Water is just beaming on me, and I'm sobbing, and he comes in, he turns it off, throws the towel on me. He's like, what is wrong? Is everything okay? And I was just like, no, everything is not okay. Like, these pills make me feel unhuman and numb, and I can understand why people commit suicide, because like, this stuff is not a joke. Like, this makes you so numb, and then the moment you feel something, like, it's just too much. He's like, but you promised. And I was like, I didn't promise. I promised, like, it was mandatory for a month to go to the psych ward twice a week to see a counselor. Like, okay, I've done that, and I don't want to go back, and I haven't gone back, and, now I've been on this medication for a while now, and I don't want to take it anymore. And so I just remember, like, him seeing, like, the emotion in my eyes that he took those pills, opened it up, walked me in the bathroom, flipped up the toilet seat, dumped them, and flushed them. And I said, what are you doing? He's just like, you're right. You don't need to take these anymore. He goes, I've noticed that you aren't the same person. Yeah, you've changed. You're not having those thoughts, but it's because it's numbed you. Like, you just are just a zombie. You don't care. And you sleep all the time. It's just, this is pathetic. Like, we're not dealing with this. And so that was, like, when I started turning to the outdoors, trying to find myself to lose weight, and all, like, just trying to heal myself in the outdoors. And that's kind of how my business started. But I never was still in the right mindset. Like, I was still, like, having issues. My husband proposed when I was 22 in April. After I turned 22, he proposed in 2009, and then we were married in September. And he married me at my heaviest, and I was 286 pounds. Yeah. And he has just stuck with me through and through. And I knew, like, he is the guy. He may have not been the type of guys that I've dated before, but he's the best guy I've ever dated. And he's so handsome, and he's so sweet, and he's so loving, and he's so caring. And who wouldn't want that in their life? Like, that's the one thing, like, of all the crappy things that are going on, this is the one thing that's gone right in my life. And I don't want to lose him. And he married me at my heaviest, and he was so happy, and he cried with me walking down the aisle and telling me how beautiful I was. And it was just like, he was everything that I needed. And he ended up joining the church after, because I decided to come back to church after we got married. So we were married in September. I went back to church in October, and Brian joined at the end of October. He was baptized. Kind of shocked, because he never, like, showed any interest or, like, made it known that he had any inkling, like, anything, like, nothing. So he joined, and then, like, I've been active ever since. But it's just been kind of a struggle with my health, and my weight has always been a roller coaster. In high school, I was binge eating, which what turned me to the diet pills. But in high school, I was binge eating a lot because I was bullied, and no boys would ask me out. No boys were asking me to the dance. Do boys really like me? Like, what's wrong with me? Why am I so ugly? Why is this happening to me? And I always ate healthy. I was always into, like, nutrition and health, but when, like, those crappy things are going on in my life, I would just turn to the crappiest food and feed it to myself, because I felt ugly. Those foods were ugly. And so, like, that's what I was attracted to. I was eating those crap foods. So that happened, in high school, I was binge eating. And then when I started spiraling out of control, going off the diet pills, I was binge eating crap foods, throwing up. So I developed a eating disorder, unhealthy relationship with food. And, even after getting married and, still going to church, like, I thought, like, that would heal a lot. And it healed, quite a bit, but there was a lot of things that I still needed to work on. Excuse me. there's still a lot of things I needed to work on. And I just remember, being told I couldn't have children, and then I ended up getting pregnant with our son, which was a surprise, and it was the best surprise. And we were living in Oregon at this time now, and I was getting more depressed because of the weather, and then we get pregnant, and then I had to go on bed rest for a majority of my pregnancy, and then so I'm depressed about that. I can't go outside, I can't do this, I can't do that, and then I have my son, and then I had postpartum depression, and just everything just kept happening. And then I kind of started binge eating again, and started that unhealthy relationship with food again, and then it just kept spiraling out of control. And so fast forward to my 30th birthday. So after I turned 30, 3 months later, we ended up moving back to California. And then Brian and I started this program through church together for business. And I met this amazing person there. All the people were amazing, but this person in particular, we became really good friends, and she's just amazing. And she was telling me, like, okay, I was like, so what do you want to do? Because she was like doing alterations, but then she got certified for this program and was telling me about this program. And I'm like, this is why, one, I was supposed to come to this class, and two, to meet her. And her purpose was for this class was to tell me about this program she got certified for. And that is the program I'm doing now. And I promised myself that before my 31st birthday that I would either start it or already have it completed. And then it's just like, after she told me about this was in like October. November, we bought our house. We moved to Idaho. And then we traveled all December, seeing family and all of that goodie. And then came back like 2 weeks in January. Me and Liam were sick for like 2 to 3 weeks, and so it wasn't like really able to start it until like February. And then I went to try to start it in February, and then like we just had a bunch of stuff go on, and I was like, okay, I'm committing that starting March 1st I am doing this. I'm starting this program before I'm 31. Like, I committed myself that I was going to do that. And so that's what brought me to where I am today. So kind of all fast motion, just wanted to get through it, because when I first did the video, it was like 40 minutes, and nobody has got time for that. But so that's what happened. That's what's brought me here today. And then it didn't help that in February I had like 2 to 3 weeks of chronic GI problems, and throwing up, severe throw up and diarrhea, like both at the same time. Like, it was just out of control. And found out that I have food allergies, and then, I'm super low in like vitamin K and vitamin B, and I have to get shots now for the vitamins. And then I'm just kind of giving you a brief synopsis, not going into full detail. And then I found out my parathyroid glands so my body is attacking my bones, which is and my body's breaking down my bones to get calcium, because I am deficient in calcium. And it's just like blah blah. I couldn't sleep last night. Like, I had the worst sleep I've ever had in quite some time, and my son sleeps in his own bed, but it was because there was so much going on. The news I heard was good news, because I'm finally getting answers that I have been wanting since I was 13 years old. But at the same time, it was just another long list of what's wrong with me. And all this time is I felt that it was in my head. Like, people don't believe me, because people never believed me when I would tell them that something's wrong. And it was just confirmation that, yes, unfortunately, there are things wrong with you, and my body is in an inflamed state, and there is definitely something wrong with me. And so it was just like, what the frick? Like, I knew it wasn't all in my head. And so then that was like a 2-hour appointment yesterday. And then today I met with the nutritionist. She's like, you were seriously on the path. And I said, I'm on a right path now, because I'm in a different mindset that I was at 13, and then like at 17, and then at 20. I'm at a different mindset that I'm like, I can do this. And this program is showing me about self-love and breaking away from those lies and those people, and just restoring myself. And I think now, because my mind is in a line now with my heart and my body and my stomach, and everything is finally in an alignment now, that is what's making the difference. So it was a definite roller coaster yesterday. It was hard. It was just confirmation, but it is definitely, there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because I have a fantastic naturopathic doctor who's getting me on the right track, who's not filling me with, synthetic crap. And I have a great nutritionist who's helping me getting on the right track. And I have this amazing program that's helping to restore who I am. So I feel like I have like 3 powerhouse programs, doctor helping me on the holistic naturopathic side, the nutritionist, and then this program that I'm on is just truly changing my life. And I am so grateful for this. And it's funny, since I've started, every day, like, I mean, like, not every day, but like every other day, every few days, every week I'm losing weight. And my nutritionist told me today, you have to pat your own back, because nobody's going to pat your back for you. And those accomplishments are huge. And don't let anybody tell you it's just water weight. Or don't let people say, oh, you gained weight because it's muscle, like within a month. Like, believe in yourself. Pat yourself on the back for the achievements that you're making and the accomplishments you are doing. And it was just so great and so therapeutic, and everything's just so in shift and in line, like shifting and in line with each other, that I know this is exactly what's supposed to happen in my life. I know that this is what I'm supposed to have in my life, and I am so grateful for it. And so I just wanted to do something a little different today, and I'm thankful that you guys stuck around, because I wanted you guys to have a little bit more in-depth of my life and how I came to be where I'm at, and a little better understanding. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for your comments, your DMs, your love, your support. It means so much to me. I mean, I could care less if anybody watched these videos. It's just for my sake. But the fact that people are watching these and people are caring and asking, like, it means so much, and I truly appreciate it. And so if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell icon to get notified when I post again. I try to post every Sunday or Monday, but this week was a little crazy, obviously. So thanks again so much for stopping by and checking out my video, and I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of the week. Bye!